Right, guys, it's time to tackle the Epstein case and call it out for what it is. Young girls, pretty girls, bypass guys their own age to hang around with older, high status men. And they spread their legs for them willingly. And since the average guy can't do that because he's not high status, they get all jealous, right? So let's talk about this. This is Prince Andrew. See him with that pretty young woman? She's a young woman. Mommy and daddy aren't looking for her, wondering where she is. Uh, they offered her an invitation and she showed up. That's what sex trafficking actually is. Young women are giving invitations and they can't wait to show up and be with high status men. So, Sheer Denise, tell us about it.
Possible. But it is important to say that Alan Dershowitz was also accused by this Virginia Dufresne as somebody who had taken advantage of her.
Taking advantage of her. What is this? The early 1900s? I thought they raped her, right? Isn't this statutory rape?
And of course, we all remember when Virginia Dufresne came out and said that Prince Andrew had taken advantage of her. And it wasn't hard to believe because there's the infamous picture of.
What are you talking about? Took advantage? How? Are you saying she didn't spread her legs willingly? Of course she did. That's why she can't call it rape. None of these young girls were raped. And they weren't taken advantage of either. The only way would be to suggest that they were engaging in prostitution, and guys like Prince Andrew and Epstein owed these girls something just because they spread their legs. So, Cheer Denise, that's who this young lady is, you're admitting that the relationship dynamics between men and women is one of prostitution, right? These old guys, if they showed interest in this girl, first of all, these girls showed interest in them. See that happy smile on her face, everyone? See that happy smile? This is not a woman who's in distress. This is not a woman who's thinking, wow, where am I? She's not drunk either. Look how bright she is. This is not an inebriated person. So if they weren't drugged, they're not distressed. They showed up here because they want to be with these famous men. And they spread their legs for them because they get horny over famous men. And that's all this gripe about Epstein is, right? Now, I asked, Epstein client list does it not exist, or does it exist? And it says the FBI and the U.S. Department of Justice have concluded the long speculated client list tied to Jeffrey Epstein does not exist, directly refuting years of conspiracy theories and public speculation. Yeah, it's a conspiracy theory. Know why it needs to be a conspiracy theory? Because the only thing this guy was actually guilty of was Brett banging pretty young girls and getting all the low status losers jealous. That's what he was guilty of, right? According to the recently released two-page memo, no credible evidence was found indicating that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals, right, involved in his alleged sex trafficking activities, right? Because this isn't sex trafficking, everyone. See what this is? This is inviting a pretty young girl to your pad. That's what this is. And her glad to be there with a great big smile. Look, I'm with a famous man. I didn't have to spread my legs for a low status loser working at the pub, right? Now check out Secular Talk. He's so upset. These guys are so upset.
All right, guys, I got some pretty big and funny breaking news here for you. So, Trump's Department of Justice and his
It is funny, dude. It is funny. I love this.
FBI just came out and said that Jeffrey Epstein definitely didn't blackmail any powerful figures. He definitely didn't keep a client list, and he wasn't murdered.
People think he was murdered so that he wouldn't be able to talk. No. Look at the picture of Epstein here, right? Where is he here? He's an old man here. His woman has been put away for 20 years. 20 years for a guy this age is a death sentence. He would died in jail. That's why he took his life, guys, because he knew it was ended. And the thing is, I want to give Mr. Pink and Yellow more credit. He said what it is that Epstein had no self-control. He had the power to attract all these pretty young women. There they are. See, they are. They had power to attract all these pretty young women to bang, and he didn't know how to protect himself. The average guy would bang this beautiful young woman in a heartbeat. This is not sex trafficking. This is not underaged, you know, banging of girls. These are young women that guys wish they could, and they can't because these young girls don't want anything to do with you guys. And when I say you guys, I mean us guys, you know, not only because I'm old, but if I was 40 years younger, she still wouldn't have anything to do with me because I'm a nobody. And I accept that. But the average guy can't accept. And so Epstein must be the devil. Epstein banged your mom.